You know what sound that is, folks? You betcha. That's another Elkworks Noon Whistle. I'm Chris Trottier.
And I am John Anslone, and we are here, I should say, with this year's All Sports Booster Hall of Fame inductees, Chris.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Congratulations.
We're amongst royalty here today. So instead of us introduce them, let's have them go around and introduce themselves, and maybe they could tell us a little bit about them before we really get into this.
All right, sounds good. Well, why don't you start with the gentleman to your left?
Jeff Gahart. I've been an Elkhorn resident since '79. I started coaching. My son Ross was just going into second grade. We moved here from Kenosha County, and I've been coaching ever since he was in second grade, and he's 53 now, I think.
And still coaching.
Well, actually, Ross is on his 31st year coaching at the high school.
But you're still coaching.
Oh yeah, I am. Yeah.
You're still
I coach
coaching.
the 8th grade football team and the high school rugby team.
It's phenomenal. I'm Ken Reynolds. I wrestled at Elkhorn, came through the Elkhorn school system, wrestled and graduated in 1980, part of the first 2 conference championship teams. It was awesome. And turned around and became the head wrestling coach in 1998 for about 25 years. And just retired from coaching last year. Own a local business in town. I've been an Elkhorn resident most of my life.
All right.
Go ahead, Richard.
My name's Richard Kessler. Grew up in Elkhorn, graduated 2009. I played football. Coach Gahart was my 8th grade football coach. I was the captain of the football team my senior year. I was a 2-time wrestling state runner-up, and I also played on the golf team. And then I got a scholarship to wrestle for Stanford. I was there for 2 years till I hurt my back, and then I played rugby for 3 years at Notre Dame, and was a rugby All-American my second year. So I'm excited to be here with all of you. So thanks for hosting, Chris and John.
Yeah.
Ron.
My name's Ron Nelson. I moved back from South Carolina 1977 to my dream job here in Elkhorn, and started coaching tennis after Larry Bray switched careers. Boys, girls in 1981, and for 26 years after that, and the boys in 1982 for 14 years. Had a lot of fun, met a lot of great kids, and worked with some nice young students, and it's been a great career.
Yeah, well, thank all you guys. I mean, all you guys have some special things you've done over the years in and at Elkhorn. And Ron, I guess I should say Mr. Nelson, because I had you as a teacher in middle school. So,
well, you're one of the highlights for sure.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, appreciate that. Hey, so why don't we go around? I guess, let's start just kicking it back around, Chris, and is talking about the Elkhorn All Sports Booster Hall of Fame. And you guys just start talking about, things you've done, where you're at, any highlights from Elkhorn, whether it's coaching or, you guys have been involved in plenty of highlights, whether it's participating, coaching, whatever it might be. I know, Richard, that was probably a pretty humble announcement of yourself, because you weren't just a wrestler, you were quite a wrestler, correct?
I guess so. Yeah, I guess that's why I'm here.
Well, there were some accolades along the way, wasn't there?
So I won a couple conference championships, couple regional championships, 1 sectional title. I was a 2-time state runner-up.
Who's your coach?
Ken Reynolds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And he is being very humble, because Richard is one guy who changed the course of Elkhorn wrestling. He really did. He changed the culture. He was an it was amazing what he did for Elkhorn wrestling, not just in the circle, but outside the circle is what I always say. He was awesome for our program. He really did. He put it in a whole different direction. And we had an incredible 10 years after he graduated, and he was the start of it. There's no doubt about it.
Coach Gahart, what do you remember about coaching Mr. Kessler here?
Well, he was not real big in middle school. I mean, kind of smallish actually, but he was very tough. And I remember it was a first or second game of the year. We had him playing D end, and he made like $130 or something. And he was going against a guy that was I was a lot bigger than him. And he came over at a timeout, and he was winning about half the battles. It was good competition. And I knew that he had a background as a wrestler. I didn't know him before that year. And he said, "Coach, that guy is way bigger than I am." And I said, "Yeah, I'm aware." And now it was a short conversation.
There's no weigh-ins at wrestling football. Yeah.
What's that?
There's no weigh-ins in football.
Well, yeah, and I said, "Yeah, I know, I'm aware." And then it was, "Okay, go play." And he never mentioned it again, which is he's pretty quick on his feet.
Well, he is a smart guy too.
Yeah.
Richard's an
Went
excellent
to Stanford.
student. Yeah. Well, in fact, last night when I was talking about the noon whistle with my wife, who is an ex-teacher at Elkhorn, she remembered a story. She goes, "Oh, Richard," she goes, "what a great student. What a great kid. But he drove me crazy when he came back and said, I want to retake this. I got an A-."
So
She wasn't happy about that. I do remember that. Because she had to deal with me for another semester.
Well,
Yeah, you're driven.
What's
So
that?
Ron, you coached for years. Tell us, give us some highlights of your coaching experience. You taught Mr. Anzalone here. God help you, bless you.
Yes. Yeah.
Tell us some of your highlights coaching here in Elkhorn.
Well, I guess I'd have to say that the conference championships, the girls, I didn't expect it. I had a lot of young players, some freshmen coming out. Sarah Mashak was a freshman, and she teamed up with Janine Almack, I guess, and they won the conference that year. And so all these young kids came through. They didn't know how good they were, and we ended up winning conference. And then the one year for the boys, Joel Christensen, who everybody knows in Elkhorn, he was playing number one singles, and we had tough with Whitewater, because Whitewater beat us twice during the season, but we knew we had a chance at conference meet because they couldn't cross over. The number one singles players played doubles also, but they couldn't do it in the conference meet. So we snuck in and won that. And I guess the funny thing is, all you coaches know this. You get one, the next year should be another one. Well, the kids have their own ideas. One quits to buy a truck, another one quits because he wants to go bowling. A couple girls got hurt, so all of a sudden your dreams of having a couple in a row vanish. But that's part of it.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about coaching. All of you, either as athletes and coaches, have a ton of experience from kind of, and Richard as a competitor, and now looking back, what has changed in coaching and athletics that you've kind of watched evolve over the years? Kenny, obviously you got plenty of years experience. Coach Gahart, you also. Kind of what have you guys noticed just watching from the outside, and kind of what do you think's really changed since you started to now? Ken, I'll start with you, and then we'll go to Coach Gahart.
Well, I think we all know this is a pretty deep conversation, or can be, but the specialization, without a doubt, right? Everyone's gotten very specialized in all their endeavors, right? But yet parents still want their kids to be in everything. And it's hard to be successful as a wrestler if you're in, 10 clubs and 4 other sports, and you have all those other things going on. And I think the demands have changed a lot. Richard was a wrestler. He played football. He did really good in football, but he went to wrestling practice all through football season to prepare for that, wrestling season. And, it's changed a lot. I think the culture has changed a lot. And unfortunately, I think kids miss a lot.
So Coach Gahart, what hasn't changed? Let's go there. What hasn't changed? I mean, what do you notice as a continual theme?
Well, if you're coaching I would say a combat sport, football or rugby, the dudes are the dudes. They're all the same. Guys are just guys. If they want to go out and play, they're great. I think there might be a little smaller percentage of them right now than there were in the past, but tough guys are tough guys, and we love them. we got to give them a place to go play, a place where they can be boys and just rough it up some.
Yeah, Richard, what do you think? And I'd be interested what your feel is, or even all of you coaches, on, is it possible for someone to be a 3-sport athlete but yet still put in the time to be elite in one of those sports?
I think there's got to be a possibility for it. It's just got to be up to the kid, right? I think that was one of the things that I'm grateful for when I look back on my time as an athlete is, I was very busy, and I had a lot going on, but I picked it all. I chose to do it all, and I'm grateful that there was nobody else who was trying to make me do it, So I think, in a school like Elkhorn, it's not the biggest school in the state. I think it's great for kids to go out and have a varied experience with sports, because you learn different things from each one, and I think that's really valuable for these kids.
So Ken, Ron, Jeff, what do you guys think from a coach's perspective on that, as far as?
I think his answer is spot on. I really do, because I always loved it when my guys were playing football and running cross country, and go play baseball in the spring, and be part of that. I loved all that part of it. And the wrestlers who wanted to wrestle and compete found a way to go compete. Like I said, Richard went and wrestled during football season. He won a couple nights a week and wrestled to prepare for wrestling, but he still played football, and he was a great football player. So you can do it, but it has to be the kid's decision. Kids.
Well,
Ron, what do you think?
Depends on how you define success. If you want to be state champion,
We're losing Ron.
Around, but three sports is one, and to be successful with a competition, you make it to be that success. But you've also had to with their athletes. And then 4 years, you only do this for 4 years. So that, you're out of high school, very few go to college. So I think
Ron, we had to mute you. We were getting some back feed there. I don't know about your microphone, if you got something that's clicking there. So I just take a look at it, just check it. But, we'll come back to you. So let me check it now. Yeah, still getting a little bit back feed from your mic. So just hold on a second. So when you guys, I guess here's a question I have. How are you informed that you were being inducted into the All Sports Booster Club? What's the methodology? Is there a guy who bangs on your hotel door in a yellow jacket? Like, is that somebody, or what happens? We'll start with Coach Gahart. How'd you find out?
I think my son Kevin told me. He's on the school board.
Okay.
I don't know that this. I mean, it's not related at all, but he told me that I was selected, and I'm like, I'm very, very grateful, but I still don't get it, because it's just all fun for me.
Yeah.
Well, and Jeff's super humble, because he has touched all things Elkhorn and coaching, and always helps out, and is always there when someone needs him, and has coached hundreds and hundreds of kids. Yeah, you are certainly deserving, and
thank you.
Yeah, Jeff's a pretty humble guy, so well deserved.
Ken, how'd you find out?
Well, it's kind of unique. I'm the chairman of the Hall of Fame committee. So,
whoa.
Inside job. Is this an inside job?
Yeah.
When they pass around the ballot box and I put 50 ballots in it, I mean, it's right. Happen. But no, actually, the last couple of years they've wanted me to be inducted, and I've turned it down. honestly, I really have. I pushed it off, and this year, it just is right. This is the right time.
Good.
But yeah, I didn't vote, obviously, when the voting came this year, but we have a great process in picking the candidates. We have a great stack of applications now, and people that want to, that are coming in. We have a great committee, and it's all voted and done fair. It really is. And this year's class, I think, is one of the best classes, and not to be because I'm in it, but I just think it's a great class. I really do. I think this will be I'm really asking for us to blow the attendance out of the water this year, because I just think with the group that we have, we could have a really good attendance, and a lot of people show up for this one. That's my goal for this year.
Yeah, and you guys always have good crowds, and I know we're getting close here on our.
We can find out, Richard. How'd you find out?
Somehow my mom found out before me, and then she called me to tell me. But it's obviously a great honor, and it made me especially happy to hear that I was going to be inducted the same year as two of my former coaches.
That's awesome.
Two people I respect a lot, so I'm very excited about it.
Ron, what about you?
I guess
No.
Dang it. I'm pretty sure that Simo got a hold of everybody.
Nice. All right. Well, let's do it. Let's as we conclude, let's go around real quick, and then Kenny, we'll let you kind of give the overview of the day and the event. We're gonna ask for one. Go ahead, John.
Well, yeah, I just want to I want to inject one more thing here. First, congrats to all of you. You're certainly worthy of being Hall of Famers. Al VanScotter, who also is an inductee, was unable to be here today with us. I think he had some troubles trying to get into the broadcast. But the other one that's not here, but I'm certainly is with us, is Randi Wulf is an inductee, and another well-deserved accolade for Mr. Wulf. So go ahead, Chris. I just want to make sure.
That was great. That was great. Yeah, and if you haven't seen the Wolf Wall in the Suki gym, it's take a moment and go take a look at that, because obviously Coach Wolf impacted a lot of kids in 30 years, so he's missed every day. So we'll go right around the room. You get one highlight to share about your experience that you're gonna maybe even reference in your speech or your acceptance speech, but give us one highlight as we go around the room, and then Ken will close with you giving a little presentation, and we'll get everybody back to whatever it is they're doing. So, Coach Gahart, give us one highlight.
That's very difficult. I think more than anything, I would like to thank Dean Wilson. We moved to town. Ross was going to be in second grade, so he got me to coach T-ball, and I got on the lifer list. Whenever there was a new season or a new sport, Dean reached out, and I couldn't say no, and I just love every minute of it. Being around kids helps you stay young.
There you go.
I'm just
Coach Reynolds.
Well, this one, this is going to be a tough one. Randy is my brother-in-law, so it's ironic that I turned down going into the Hall of Fame the last couple of years, and then all this happened, and if Randy wouldn't have been inducted this year, I think we would have all been bankrolled out of the town because that's how strong everyone felt about Randy going in. So timing is everything, right? I'm going to be inducted with my brother-in-law, and then these guys who I respect and incredibly. Richard was such a huge impact in my coaching career, and Mr. Gahart and Nelly, and just a great group of guys. So, everything happens for a reason, and unfortunately Randy won't be with us, but I couldn't think of a better way to go in the Hall of Fame than with my brother-in-law and these guys.
Yeah, he'll be watching.
Yeah.
Richard, what do you got?
Hard to pick one memory, but I think I'm really grateful for the relationships that I was able to form, like when I was in school, especially with Ken and Jeff. So I'm really thrilled.
All right, Coach Nelson, let's give it a shot here. Unmute yourself. You got to unmute yourself, sir. There you go. All right.
Good luck.
Well, yeah, that's okay. It happens. That's what happens when you go live. So,
So Saturday the 12th is
Yep.
the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. It'll start with tours of the school. And the school has changed a lot in the last 10, 20 years. So I would encourage families and people to come. And John always has people there to take everyone on tours around the facility, you know, the athletic side, the educational side, the everything is just incredible in that school. So take advantage of that, those tours at 11 o'clock. At 12 o'clock, we have a welcome reception and hors d'oeuvres and food and things like that in the cafeteria. It's always a great time that's my favorite time because you get to see everybody and just talk to everybody. And at 1 o'clock, we will go in the auditorium and we'll do the inductions and have a lot of fun. And within a couple hours, we'll be out of there. So it's not a long day, but it's incredibly fun. I've enjoyed the heck out of my time with this Hall of Fame. All these years, it's been a gas. So by 3 o'clock, everybody will be done. We'll be out of there.
all right. Well, I like to hear it. I like to hear it. Coach Nelson, any parting words here with your technical difficulties? That's all right. It happens. And on that note, we appreciate everybody being here. Congratulations to all of you
guys.
Thanks.
Congratulations to the Wulf family. Mr. VanScotter, we'll see you at the induction. And what an impressive group. And thanks for being on the noon whistle. John, on that note, I think it's about time. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Have a
Thank you,
good
guys.
day, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.